Okay, good evening. Welcome to this regular scheduled business meeting of the Summersville City Council on this 13th day of January 2025. This time I'd like to welcome all of our guests and get right into tonight's agenda, as it might be just a little bit lengthy. The first item on the agenda is consideration of the council minutes of the meeting we held December 23rd of 2024.
Move to approve and waive the reading.
Second. Okay, council, we have a first and a second. The motion was to waive the reading. Are there any changes or amendments to those minutes as they were presented in your packet? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion so carries. Annabeth, anybody sign up for public comment? No public comment. Okay. What I'd like to do now is move right into the State of the City address. Tonight's address, my executive assistant, Mary Ann Taylor, and I will share a reflection on the progress of our great city and look ahead to the exciting future we will build together. I want to extend my gratitude to the hardworking residents, business owners, community leaders, and public servants who make Summersville the remarkable place that it is. Together, we have faced challenges, celebrated successes, and worked towards making Summersville a place where families thrive, businesses grow, and our community stays strong. In the past year, we've made great strides in a number of key areas that have strengthened our city. Our local economy continues to grow, thanks in large part to the spirit of entrepreneurship and the tourism that defines Summersville. We've seen new businesses open and several long-standing businesses expand, contributing to a vibrant local economy and providing jobs to our local residents. Summersville tourism sector has remained the core of our economy, drawing visitors from all over to experience the beauty of our lake, mountains, and outdoor recreational opportunities. We've worked hard to capitalize on our unique position of being the gateway to the newest national park, the New River Gorge National Park, and the home of the newest West Virginia State Park, Summersville Lake Park. I am proud to share with you the state of our city. Allow me to kick this address off tonight by first giving an update on the financial state of our city. Our current financial year has us on the halfway mark of our $10.6 million general fund and $1.8 million utility budget. Total city managed budget is about $12.4 million. Due to our fiscal management, our finance director, and our department heads and the entire team, we are once again in a position to have a surplus of revenue this fiscal year. Separate from our budget, we are also fortunate to have a $1.1 million in a rainy day fund. I would like to highlight last year, due to the drought, hydro revenue was down significantly. Might be one of the worst years on record. This year, with Army Corps maintenance and repairs at the dam, we're running way behind on this year's revenue, just 33% of our budget. And that's hydro budget. Our fiscal management has prepared us for times like this. Moving to some of the projects, the City of Summersville Recreational Complex. In August of 2024, we held the official groundbreaking. Thrasher Engineer is our engineer, our partner in this project. We held the ceremony of our 128-acre complex. Design of Phase 1 and 2, biking and hiking, and soccer complex is basically finished and ready for approval to move into the bidding of our initial stages. And we've changed it. Initially, we were going to put it out in one massive bid for the whole project, Phase 1 and 2. We're not going to do that anymore. We're going to put out we're going to do it in stages. The first two stages of bid that will be out in March are going to be the earth movement and utility work. And again, it's important to know, because I'm constantly asked, spent time with the contractor today, we're hoping to have the construction bids out in March. Thrasher Engineering is also our partner for the City of Summersville Visitor Center. The name of the center will be co-branded. The Greater Summersville Visitor Center, representing our CVB, and the City of Summersville. The engineer and committee are finishing the design for approval by this governing body. The 7.99 acre property located on Route 19 next to the high school is currently underway with environmental and other permitting work. Next, I want to speak a little bit about Summersville Fire Department. Our home rule application, which was approved the year before last year, and last year was our first year in home rule, which turned out to be an awesome success for the city of Summersville. In the sales tax, which I'm hopeful that our plan is still that we will sunset the B&O in in July of 2027. I've been working with Chief Aldridge and his leadership team developing the implementation plan of paid fire engineers. That's what drivers are called in the fire department. So we'll have paid drivers at the fire department. This includes the work that we've been doing as job description, duties and responsibilities, schedules, and budget. We hope to present the City Council in the next 60 days with that plan, with implementation happening this calendar year. This will bring improved fire services to our community. And I kind of skipped it at the top, but if you remember, Council, this is one of the things that we said we would do with our home rule application, is bring improved emergency services to our city. Sidewalk projects. Phase 1. The sidewalk has been installed. I got today the change order that was a part of that process, and that change order is for $23,000. Fortunately, it's going to be covered by the contingency that was built in the project, along with flagging funds that were not used. They really billed us big in that project on the number of flagging hours that they thought they would need for traffic. They did not need. So between the flagging, the balance of the flagging hours, and the contingency in the project, we will have to put no more funds into that project. There is a punch list that has not been completed, that will be completed when weather allows, and also along with potentially reseeding the property that needed to be seeded, and it was seeded way at the end of the year. So when the weather clears, if the property owners need their property reseeded, that will be done, and then that project will be officially closed. Phase 2, our engineer on this is Todd Schoolcraft with E.L. Robinson. He's finishing design, and then of course it has to go to District 9 for approval. Goal is to have resolution and construction agreement to City Council in February. I will tell you that my deadline for them was our next council meeting, but today I was informed with the change of administration, they cut off all signing of any state documents until the new administration is seated with cabinet secretaries and processes are put in place and folks are allowed to sign documents. So with the change in administration, it could slow us down a bit on our resolution and our construction agreement with the state. But again, this is a project that will happen in 2025. I want to highlight some utility projects. Kentucky Road, actually this is a stormwater project, the Kentucky Road Stormwater Project. Everything is in place. This was funded in 2018. Everything's in place. We're just waiting the final approval from the Community Development Block Grant, which is the funder. And then the project will go to bid. Again, this is a project that we hope to have out in bid in February, March. Ready Street, we have a line enhancement project that's been funded, and it's going to increase our ability to supply a higher volume of water through Gauley River PSD to Wilderness PSD. And this project was funded through Wild Ridge Young Life Camp, County Commission, others. This is all in the spirit of getting the Young Life Camp the water that they need to exist and continue to build out. So that project has been funded. The only thing that we're waiting on is to secure the right-of-ways through people's property for the project, and that is underway. Webster Road project, this is an enhancement, backup, I want to repeat that, an enhancement to our system, but a backup project to supply water to Gauley River PSD to serve Mount Olive Prison. If you remember, we've had many woes through the years. They've had many woes where Mount Olive has run out of water. This is an upgrade to our system as a backup, not a regular supply, but as a backup. When they can't get water from their other sources, we'll easily be able to supply it with the volume of water. This is just going to allow us to feed them more water. CMI2, what I'd like to do now is highlight partnerships with the city of Summersville, and we've got a bunch of them. And honestly, if I went, I'm going to list the partners that we work with, and we've got projects with all of these partners. I'm only going to get detailed with a couple of them, but I do want to highlight that our success is based on relationships, collaborations, and partnerships that we do with any and everybody that wants to transact and do business in our great city. So I'd like to highlight first CMI2. They are currently in a partnership with the Summersville Police Department, and we're working on MOUs and budgeting. CMI2 is an outfit that's actually located in Clay County. It's a non-for-profit, and they bring massive military movement through. And this is kind of a project that was put together by many folks, mostly military past generals. They've secured property, actually bought property in Clay County, and probably 2 years ago was the first movement of Marines that they brought to Clay County. So now what they've discovered is, and we're working with them in many avenues, is they get them over there to that property in Clay County, and then they want something to do. So we've got several projects going on. We've got projects going on where we're actually working on routes to get folks from Clay County to these military folks from Clay County to Nicholas County when they're doing maneuvers, because their maneuvers are usually Monday through Friday. They come in for sometimes a month at a time. So we're working on that. But the police department is actually working with CMI2 on active threat response training. This is a combined training that will take place, classroom will take place here in the city of Summersville with our police department, and then the actual simulation and stuff will go over to CMI2 to Clay County, where they have some of the most updated Unreal technology used for this advanced training. And this is technology that usually is not available to rural communities. So we're extremely excited with our partnership with CMI2 in many capacities. Also tonight we have with us the executive director from MTA, and we have partnered with Tim. Tim's been an awesome guy to work with, and he's going to introduce a new program for the city of Summersville, where we have again partnered once again for the success and benefit of the citizens of our great community. So I'm not going to steal Tim's thunder. I'm going to let him tell you about the new program that we're entering with MTA. But I also want to mention that we're very active with Rural Partners Network, and with that is the Pioneer Trails Town Network, where we are meeting to connect our trail system with all trail systems in the region. We're a very active partner with New River Gorge Regional Development Authority. Of course, you all know they're here on a regular basis, Region 4 Planning and Development. The Greater Summersville CVB we partner with, the Summersville Area Chamber we partner with, and the Nicholas Intervention Coalition is another great partner. All of those entities we have activities, ongoing activities with. So at this time what I would like to do is ask my executive assistant, Mary Ann Taylor. Boy, what a savior she has been for me. So when I can't handle the projects, or even if I can, I put them to Mary Ann and she does a fine job. Mary Ann, the floor is yours.
Thank you. As you've just heard, the city is experiencing significant progress. And so thank you to Mayor and all council, because that's why we're moving forward in the direction we are. I am representing several committees, and I am going to give you some updates this evening on those committees. I do want to say it has really been a privilege for me to serve on all these committees, and I've been able to watch them grow. All of them are made up of diverse and dedicated community members, and they're all really dedicated to their goals and to accomplishing those. So I'm very grateful, actually, for the opportunity to be able to serve on these committees. So I'll begin with the Homeless Commission. So the Homeless Commission hosted their first event on October 31st of last year. It was very successful. We had a resource fair. We had 25 resources that set up and addressed healthcare needs, hygiene, recovery services, housing. They gave out blankets, food bags, even did haircuts, which, by the way, was a huge hit. We were also able to serve a hot lunch, and the Last Shepherd Thrift Shop was very kind to give out clothing and shoes and coats to the people that attended the resource event. Also, MTA provided rides to and from Richwood, Craigsville, Birch River, Mount Nebo, and Summersville. So it was a partnership, a very good collaborative of a lot of people that helped to make that event successful. It was very positive. We were able to offer a hand up to those that were experiencing homelessness. It provided an invaluable opportunity for all the resources that attended to connect and network with each other, so that they now have partnerships where they will be able to do other events together to help homelessness across the region. It also raised awareness about our work and our purpose in the community, and we were able to get our mission out there so that the community knows what the Homeless Commission is all about. Most importantly, the event directly impacted 13 individuals and offered them much needed support and assistance, an outcome that truly speaks to the life-changing potential of our efforts. I will tell you, and I think Jim can attest to it, it was a life-changing event. It really was. We had a meeting today, actually, to decide what our next steps are going to be. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is the point-in-time count. The point-in-time count counts sheltered and unsheltered people one day every year. So that day is going to be on January 29th. It'll start at 4 p.m. and it'll end at 4 p.m. on January 30th. Steve Postlethwaite is taking the lead in the county for that through the Nicholas Intervention Coalition. They still need volunteers, so anyone out there that would like to volunteer, they can still use some volunteers. They're also asking for donations of gently used coats, hand warmers, hats, gloves, socks. Hygiene and skincare kits are needed. And any of these items you can drop off at Sozo Community Center or here at City Hall. They need to be dropped off by Friday, January 24th. And what they're going to do with the people that are doing the point in time are going to take these items out so they can give them to the people they encounter. That information will be very helpful to the commission once we get those numbers back on the homeless population. It'll be helpful to us as we move forward. We also decided that it's time to do another event, and we're going to go ahead and continue to do our resource event just like we did on the 31st. We're looking at possibly doing either February 13th or 20th. Like I said, we just met this morning, so we're trying to get all the details ironed out, get the location firmed up. We're going to offer all of the same things we did on the 31st. We may add some legal aid services to it. We're also looking at adding the availability of showers and laundry services. So again, this is all in the planning stages, and I should have more. I'll have a detailed flyer for you at the next council meeting. Next committee is the Beautification Committee, which is made up of about 10 members, again, members of our community. Lauren Bean and Annabeth Anderson take a big lead on that committee. The committee was planning to rejuvenate the alley beside City Hall, but we encountered some unforeseen challenges with property ownership and utilization of the alley. So considering those challenges, the committee went back to work and redirected the project scope to a new location, which is going to be the Summersville Public Library. The committee received a grant of $5,000 from the Nicholas County Community Foundation. The foundation recently approved that the grant money could be used for the new project at the Summersville Public Library, which is going to create a welcoming outdoor space where children can engage in public events and activities by the library. So we're hoping that we're going to get that accomplished by summer of this year. The electric charging station. We still don't have a charging station, but I promise you it's coming. But I am happy to say that we do have all the needed parts, and we do have a power pole installed. And Ben Simpkin, who is our electrician, began working right before the New Year holiday to start some excavation for the project. And of course now we are back with challenges with weather and scheduling. So my hope is maybe later this month, if not, hopefully definitely in February. Again, just to remind you, the station is going to be located at the Ferguson Management office where at Northside, where we've leased 2 parking spaces. So I promise you it's coming, even though it's taken about a year, but it is coming. Thriving Communities is another committee that is fairly new, but I think I spoke about it actually at the October meeting, so I'll just give you a quick review of it. The Fayette-Raleigh Metropolitan Planning Organization has partnered with Region 4, the Brad and Elise Smith Outdoor Economic Development Collaborative, and the Mon Forest Towns Partnership. And they have established a U.S. Department of Transportation regional pilot program. It's already established, and it's aimed to grow recreation and heritage tourism, promote physical activity, improve quality of life. And our fit with the Thriving Communities Committee is the hiking and biking trails at the recreational complex. There is going to be $2 million available to support projects in 11 of the Appalachian Heartland communities, of which we are one of those 11 communities. So there will be $2 million distributed between those 11. We actually have a Zoom meeting scheduled for tomorrow to discuss this opportunity further. So this will be one that I will report back to you in the future. Build West Virginia, again, I did speak about that in October, but just to refresh your memory, the Build West Virginia Act was passed at the 2022 legislative session, and it aims to assist West Virginia's growing communities in attracting much-needed housing development projects, which we all know are very much needed. The Act offers significant tax incentives for approved Build West Virginia projects in Build West Virginia districts. So just to let you know, the tax incentives that they offer, there's a sales tax exemption for the purchase of building materials, tangible personal property, and services by a construction contractor directly used to construct a certified Build West Virginia project in a Build West Virginia district. Property value adjustment credit up to $100,000 per project on personal or corporate income tax, and the potential for B&O tax exemption, which would be determined by individual municipalities authorized by an ordinance. The city is on the journey to become a Build West Virginia district. The first step is a housing needs assessment, which has been done by the Bowen National Research Center, which was ordered through the New River Gorge Regional Development Authority. Those results should be available by the end of this month. Once we get those results, we will be ready to start our application to become a Build West Virginia district. So I'll have more information on that in the future too. Together We Grow is a new venture, and it's in its very early stages, and it addresses another area that is desperately needed, and that is childcare. So the lack of accessible and reliable child care services is a significant issue. It affects families, it affects businesses. Employers are struggling to retain employees because of the lack of good child care. Many employees, particularly those with young children face difficult challenges, whether they should work or should I stay home with my child, because childcare has become very difficult to find and in an affordable range. So Together We Grow offers an innovative co-op approach to solving this issue. By partnering with local businesses, Together We Grow aims to repair and support the child care infrastructure, ensuring sustainable, high-quality early childhood education, and it will range from like 6 weeks to 5 years of age. But this initiative will help the businesses, it'll help the families, it'll help the children. So at this time, they have applied for a grant, and the mayor did send a letter of support to accompany the grant because, as I said, it does promote and foster a collaborative, supportive environment, again, that is going to benefit children, families, employers. Next is Attendance Matters, Adopt a School. And as I said the last time I talked about this, it is something that I am very passionate about, and I still am passionate about. We did adopt Summersville Elementary, and we have had an amazing time working with the school. Laura Young is the principal. She's been outstanding to work with, all the faculty. Everyone has been very great. They're always calling us about things, including us in things that they do. And I also want to commend the ladies here at City Hall who have been amazing partners with me on this project. No matter what craft we decide to come up with, they're working hard to get everything together. So I can't say enough about the ladies here at City Hall. But every month we go to Summersville Elementary and we'll read a book. We talk about the importance of going to school. We'll do a craft that is focused on attendance, and then we leave an incentive box with the teachers so that the kids at the end will get to pick different incentives for the amounts of times that they came to school. So just for example, we've done 2 months. In November, we went and we saw the preschool classes, and we made a turkey with feathers, and every time they came to school, they got to glue a feather on their turkey. We put a magnet on the back so they could take it home for the Thanksgiving holiday and hang it on their refrigerator, tell their families why they made the turkey. In December, we went and met with the kindergarten students. We made a Santa garland chain, so every time they came to school, they got to put another link on their chain, and then they could take it home and put it on their tree. This month in January, we plan to go visit the first graders, and we're going to do a snowman craft. And the really neat thing, I also want to mention in December, we also went and helped with their family night. The mayor read some books to the kids, and we served cookies and hot chocolate. But one of the really neat things is now the kids are recognizing us outside of school. They'll see us out in public. And many times I have had the kids waving and saying, "Hey, I'm really trying to go to school." So I think the program is a success. And definitely, I feel like we're making a positive difference in their lives. And I think there's nothing better than being able to make a positive difference in a child's life. So anyway, anytime that you all would like to come with us 1 month to go to a classroom, I think you'll enjoy it. I think you'll find it very inspiring. And my last committee is Accelerate West Virginia. Now, Accelerate West Virginia, again, as a review, is a part of the Coalfield Development Corporation with collaboration from Appalachian Climate Technologies, Now Coalition, Advantage Valley, the West Virginia Brownfield Centers at WVU and Marshall, West Virginia Hive, and West Virginia Hub. Now, our team was selected in the spring last year. We were selected from an application process to join the spring cohort. We have a committee, again, of dedicated community members, and we began meeting in August last year. We meet every month, either in person or virtually. We have a coach that's provided by Accelerate West Virginia. We did attend a conference in October in Charleston where we got to meet the other 9 teams in the cohort. We're learning leadership and entrepreneur development. We were able to share, and this is really good, where we went to Charleston in October and got to meet the other 9 teams, but we're able to share ideas and challenges and resources with other communities just like us in the state. So we really had a great conference in Charleston. The end game is a 24-month training. Our end game is to develop a plan for a sustainable green project. Accelerate West Virginia provides up to $45,000 in technical support, and then there are opportunities to apply for grants to bring your project to fruition. So we're on a great path. And as part of our challenge as a team, every team has to have a community engagement event. So we have ours planned, and y'all have a flyer about it. It's on February 4th at the Conference Center from 5:30 to 8. It's called Beat the Winter Blues, and it's a free event. It's for the public to come out and attend, and the whole thing is to come out and hear good news. Everything has to be good news. We have 12 dynamic speakers, and here's one of the really good things about it. When you think about 12 speakers, they only have 2 minutes. 2 minutes to speak. So 2 minutes to just let us know something good that your business, your organization is doing. We're also going to have activities, lots of fun activities. We have great door prizes. We're going to have a live auction with some really unique and interesting items. We do have food, we're gonna have beer and wine. I mean, it's just gonna be a fun night to uplift your spirits. We've already experienced winter like we haven't seen for several years. So we're hoping everyone will wanna come out, escape the winter blues and have some fun. Again, each of you has a flyer, so I hope that you will support our team and come out because I'm telling you, you're not gonna wanna miss it. And that concludes my report, but I'm happy to answer any questions.
Excellent report, Mary Ann. Thank you, and thanks for the work you do.
I have one question.
Yes.
How have you been able to identify who is homeless?
That is a very difficult question. So it's really hard because homeless people, there's different types of homeless people. You know, you could be in Tent City, or you could be living in your car. You could even be a couch surfer where you're just going from friend's house to house to house. So, you know, the 13 people that came found out by the flyers that we made and we distributed. They saw them posted somewhere, or someone they knew in their family told them about it. And that's how we identified them. Now, when they go out to do the point in time in January, they're actually going to meet tomorrow with a coach. So they're going to get more information about where they're going to go and how they're going to find the people. But this point in time is done through the West Virginia Homeless Coalition, the Continuum of Care part, and they have those resources of where they're going to send these groups of people out in our county. So I don't know if that truly answers your question, because it is a difficult question to answer.
I mean, I'm sure I can imagine some of these folks don't want to be recognized.
That's very true. There are some that they don't. Again, they're embarrassed by the situation. Some of them are. And that's why they don't want to be approached about it. But there are people that do want help, and I'll tell you, out of the 13 people that we had at the October 31st event, we did follow up. Seneca actually, one of their peer counselors followed up with every one of those people. And out of those 13, we were able to find out that one who was living in her car now has an apartment and a job. We were able to get her clothes from the thrift shop so that she would have clothing to go to work and all. So she's doing well. There was another couple that was actually living in a camper, you know, with no utilities or anything, and they really wanted to get to Charleston. They had more family there. They wanted to try to get moved to Charleston, and we had resources at the event that were able to take that couple and work with them, and they now have been relocated to Charleston.
Good.
Thank you, Mary Ann.
Thank you, Mayor. That's awesome.
The state of the city is strong and our future is bright because of the dedication and resilience of all who live here. Together we will continue to build a Summersville that we can all be proud of, a place where our families feel safe, our businesses thrive, and our community grows stronger every day. In closing, I want to thank each and every one of you for your contributions to our city. I'm truly honored to serve this city as your mayor. Let's keep building, let's keep dreaming, and let's keep working together for a Summersville that continues to shine as a place of opportunity, community, and pride. Thank you. Okay, next on the agenda, MTA Director, Executive Director Tim Thomas. And Tim's going to give us an overview of MTA and announce our new partnership arrangement. Welcome, Tim.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for members of council for your partnership over the last, I've almost been there 7 years. Time flies. But without your support, MTA can't be doing the numbers I'm getting ready to throw at you over the last 6.5 years. Back when I came in October 2018, that fiscal year, we were around 30,000 boardings system-wide, not just in Summersville. But I'm going to throw you some numbers out in Summersville. So in 2018 in Summersville, that's our city limits in a few areas just outside of Summersville. We do everything, we track everything about boardings. That's the number of times anybody gets on and off the bus is a boarding. So it was 8,302 boardings. This past fiscal year in 2024, that number was 24,440. And it's also thanking you guys for supporting MTA like you do. Mayor, man, you're awesome. That's all I have to say. I mean, anytime I ask him or he'll call me and say, can we do this? You know, we work it out. And I'll be upfront with him. We can't do it. We can't do it. But 99.9% of the time we do it. Mr. Halstead, thank you for being a board member, your support, your knowledge, and all that stuff. Our overall transportation for the first year in 2024 broke over 100,000 boardings. That is significant for a small rural public transportation. In our area, we cover five counties. A lot of them are very, very rural. You might go from an hour on one of our routes and may see 10 or 15 houses. But here in Summersville, it's totally different. Our people are needing transportation. If we had more drivers, we could do more. We are needing probably 5 drivers to just do medical runs that we are, trying to do it today. But it's amazing, and we're projecting in 2025 that our boardings will be 119,000 statewide, system-wide. And that's just through the first 6 months, and it always goes up after the first of the year. But currently, one thing that I expanded is when I went out with the help of the board of directors, we heard a lot of calls. When I first took over, the office hours from 8 to 4, which is still 8 to 4, but we never did anything really after 2 o'clock. When I took place and went to the board of directors and asked them, what can we do for your areas, and especially Summersville, with Mr. Halstead and Angie Short at the time, and we've got another great board member, Amy Gross. We said, what can we do to improve MTA? And one of the first things they challenged me was expand, provide quality service. And I think we're doing that. So one of the things I said, well, what is needed? And a lot of people need work trips after 5 o'clock, getting home. And we implemented it, and then of course COVID hit, but we still ran through COVID, never missed a day. But we are running till 8 p.m. in the evenings, especially focused on people needing to get home from work after 5. We're one of the things that we're looking at, and then hopefully in 2025, is to do, I don't want to use the bad word Uber, but an Uber type service running till like 12 at night in Summersville, if it's feasible in Greenbrier County. So we are thinking outside the box, and that's one of the things that I've always done, is thought outside the box. and not been status quo. And that's the way I am. I've worked at the state, seen how multiple systems do it, and I came back home to make a difference. And with the help of the city here in Summersville, we are making a difference, I believe. But one of the good things that I am wanting to talk about is 2 projects. Those numbers I threw out at you are when you're having 2 buses run the streets of Summersville and a little bit outside the county to the lake, etc. That is struggling. So when we call it a call ride service, it's like a taxi service per se. It's where we'll go on calls, they're scheduled, and we'll go. With those numbers, we need to go to a fixed route system, a deviation, what we call a deviation. It'd be an oblong circle, whatever route we come up with. You'll have an inner route, which is the city of Summersville area, and then outside will be another bus in the outer line areas. And we're excited to talk to the mayor about it, and we really think that this is going to change the complex of Summersville when it comes to providing more service. And with that happening, we enter a project we're going to put bus shelters out on the main street and at Summersville Place. That'll be 2 and hopefully more down the road. That project's going to cost MTA. We're not asking for any money at all. It'll be between $15,000 and $17,000. Those will be nice shelters with benches, with trash receptacles. We will have staff members go around every couple of hours, make sure that there's no trash at any of the bus stops, et cetera, so forth and so on. And we will come up with a smooth schedule with the board approval and stuff like that. Another thing that we're going to do is we're working with the state of West Virginia, who's already gave me my blessing to do this, that we're going to do an I-79 connector from Beckley to Flatwoods to meet the interstate bus that runs up in 79. We'll get a lot of individuals. They can go to Pittsburgh, Morgantown, DC. They can go to Pittsburgh. And then they can connect if they need to along the route, up at Route 50 and go to Parkersburg that way, which they can go out into Ohio. And then with the Beckley connection, there's a Charlotte bus and a few other Greyhound buses come over there at New River Transit and go south. So we are the artery to open up public transportation for a lot of individuals who currently cannot get point, for example, to college. Their parents can't take them to college. This way it will open up where they can even go to college or go visit grandma, whatever. And we're excited about that. Like I said, we're placing the 2 shelters. It's going to be they're going to be nice. They're going to be like gabled roof, and it'll be very, very, very nice for individuals to wait on the bus. And we just want to thank, hopping back to the I-79, and I'll close with that because I could go on and you guys don't have enough time to listen to me. But one of the things with the connection with I-79, there's a lot of individuals that come into Montgomery with the Amtrak. So we have a bus Monday, Wednesday, and Friday that comes up from Montgomery area to Fayetteville Walmart, and we're going to connect with that one so we can meet with this I-79 bus also to people that need to go to Amtrak. That, a lot of people do not have cars. Some of them do, but some of them can't go out of town because they can't get there. So we're excited for what MTA is doing, and we're looking for the future to make Summersville, that's my main focus because I'm from here. It's one of my main focuses to make sure that this county, this city thrives in the best way of public transit. And we are general public transportation. We're not specialized in just shopping, medicals, and seniors or anything like that. Anybody can hop on our bus. We take people to work every day, and we invite you to hop on the bus. I'll give you a free ride. I'll even come with you. But we just want to let people know that we are general public transportation, and we are there for everybody. And we appreciate your support and time that you, Mayor, and the rest of the council, Wayne, what you do for MTA. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. You're a great partner, and again, we appreciate it. Just to elaborate a little bit, so when it happens, people realize the partnership that we've done on the bus stops is, as Tim said, we're going to put one on Main Street and then one at Summersville Place. Tim and I have already met with Summersville Place, and it's going to be on a regular bus route. They are great looking bus stops. They're going to have benches and trash receptacles. So we're excited to work that project. We are going to do the install fully reimbursed by MTA and the programs that Tim's put together. So we're excited for that to happen. And so is Summersville Place, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to just say thank you to Tim and MTA. You're making a huge difference out there. From the business sector, we are able to obtain more labor and more help because of the MTA. It recently just helped 2 of my employees who actually had vehicles, but vehicles that had broke down, was able to, obtain transportation to work. We just juggled schedules a little bit and worked around your schedule, but you're certainly making a difference out there. I'm hoping we can help just a second. I have one question relative to finding drivers. This is on, this is going to be on SCTV. It's one of the best broadcasts around. What is required to do that? You're struggling finding them?
Yeah, we basically, what it is, it's
If
really.
you can come back to the
Okay.
podium.
It just depends what they really want to do. We offer part-time and full-time. We do require full-timers to have a CDL, Class C CDL with passenger endorsement. The second thing is we have a Class D operator. You can have a Class D and do some of the smaller buses and medical transportation type. We do a lot of medical, from recovery to actual medical to Medicare, Medicaid, and things like that. So those, anybody that have a Class D, and they would have to be approved. One thing that we do, we don't look at turning anybody away if they qualify, even though they have some type of record. It depends what that record is. We will give you a second chance, as long as you're not, pedophile or something like that, okay? But yeah, those are the 2 main requirements. To be the fixed route is CDL, non-fixed route is Class D operation, and it's a chauffeur's license, basically.
Perfect.
Okay?
Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Tim,
Yes.
could you talk about fees a little bit, what people pay to ride and so forth?
Here in Summersville, it's $1 in the city limits and $3 outside of city limits. We get federal and state funding, and then we are required to seek local match, like the city council, to bring up, because our operating right now is 50-50. Whatever federal monies we come down, we have to fit, it's 50-50 match, state or local. So here in Summersville, it's $1. Outside of Summersville, it's $3 right now. And it's going to stay that way. But in other counties, it ranges from, like Pocahontas County, it's 1 to 5. Depends where you go towards Snowshoe from Marlington. So those are basically the fees. It's very affordable. Like I said, we get federal funds, so that helps us offset some of the stuff. But we have a lot of program requirements. And that's the reason why we do medical transportation, to help with our match and things like that. And there's a lot of good things I can't say tonight that's possibly happening at the federal level and state level that may expand us very, very fast. We're looking to go in 3 or 4 other counties. And you said that the group in Clay County, we're working with them to try to provide transportation to that also. So we got some good things happening in Summersville.
I'd like to say, the number of people that use your service to come and get food on a regular basis at the food pantry.
Mhm.
It's just a much needed kind of service, and people just couldn't make it otherwise.
Well, anything we can do, you guys feel free to call me at the office. I can, when you call me, I'll give you my cell phone. My phone's on 24/7. I was up at 4 o'clock this morning, dealing with transportation. But we want to do whatever we can. Now, there's certain things we can do, federal regs, state regs, things like that. But we will do whatever it takes to make this city be prosperous throughout the future, in the future.
I think you're doing an outstanding job.
Thank you, sir. I pretty appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tim. You talk about Uber, you can't even touch the doorknob on an Uber car for $1 or $3. Good point to bring those rates out. Okay, let's move along. The next item on the agenda is the second reading of the approval, second and final reading of the annexation ordinance annexing the property for the visitor center, 7.99 acres. I'm assuming that you discussed this in the last meeting, which I was absent. So with that said, if we don't have anybody requesting to read the ordinance, I'll entertain a motion for the second and final reading? Second. We got a first and a second. Council, any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion so carries. Next is the second reading and approval of the certificate of annexation, which was thoroughly discussed at the last meeting on the first reading. This is the second and final. I'll entertain a motion.
Second.
We've got a first and a second. Council, any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion so carries. Recorder's report.
Couple of short notes, Mayor, thank you. Next planning and zoning meeting will be held on February 3rd here at the council chamber at 6 o'clock. So I want to make sure I get that pointed out to you. Also, short December relative to business licenses, I passed them out for you. We had a William Ayers, an R. Baker Enterprises LLC, and a Mardo Masonry Inc. So always slow in December, but extremely slow this December. That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, good deal. Thank you, Gary. Okay, mayor's report. Always have exciting things on my mayor's report, but tonight I have something really exciting. Council, as you well know, we've had, I've got resignations in hand from our finance director and our city superintendent. Their last day of employment in the city of Summersville, both of them, is March 28th. That would be Cookie Comer and James, and as we all know, they're going to be greatly missed. But we sought out on an interview process, actually application process, then interview process. And I'm really excited to announce, you might not know why we have a stranger in council tonight, but he's not really a stranger. After the process and the vetting and the interviews, this young man rose to the top of the stack. And it's really exciting when you get the opportunity to not only interview, but then at the end of the day hire somebody like our next finance director, and that's Aaron Bean. I've had the opportunity to watch this young man grow up in Summersville, and there's nothing better than when we raise them, they turn out to be what you have, Aaron, and then you stay home to work. And that's what it's all about, trying to keep folks like you in our community. So in a real exciting way, Aaron Bean's first official day as our new finance director for the city of Summersville. I want to say a little bit about Aaron. This is a young man that went to college and got an engineering degree. Now, who does this? Who goes to Riggering College to get an engineering degree and do engineering for a while and say, that's not what I want to do? Then goes back and gets an accounting degree. So what talent he's going to bring to the office of the finance director today, tomorrow, and in the future for the city of Summersville with his knowledge and his talent. So Aaron, welcome. We also would like to welcome your family, your lovely wife Lauren, and of course we can't forget about Davis and Forrest. So we welcome you all to the city of Summersville. I wanted you to be here tonight so I could formally introduce you. And Aaron's first day of employment will be the 21st of this month. So we're excited for him to get started. So welcome, Aaron.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming out tonight. And then let me give you an update on James. We kind of had a little snag with the posting of James's job. It was an internal snag. I had many individuals ask me about that posting, and I told them it was on Indeed, to find out the day before it was to close that it didn't get out on Indeed. So therefore, knowing that there had been much inquiry, and I sent everybody to Indeed and it wasn't posted on Indeed, I extended the application process for that job to the 20th, close of business on the 20th. I will tell you that we have 3 internal individuals that have applied for it, and I plan to hold those interviews this week, and then once we close the Indeed site, we'll vet those applications and hold qualified individuals, hold interviews on qualified individuals. I do want to state, because I think it's important, I did not extend the period of application intake because we don't have a qualified applicant. I did not want to send that sign. Have not tipped my hand on anybody because nobody's been interviewed. And I will hire the best qualified person for that job, just like I did the finance director. So we will start interviews with internal this week. Closes next Monday, close of business. We'll vet the Indeed applications, which I will tell you, we've received a bunch. We'll vet those applications and then hold interviews as applications warrant. So, exciting times for change, and boy, we've got change going on. And so we'll get new folks in the saddle, and the city. It's not, no success or foundations built on individuals, and everybody's replaceable. As hard as it's going to be, we're looking forward to it because it opens up the door to new opportunities. So anyway, that's the update also on the city superintendent. Another couple things I just want to highlight is the city grant process, the city council grant process for the budgeting process for the next fiscal year that has to be to the state of West Virginia by the end of March. The grant process, the public notice for the Summersville City Grants is now open, and it closes Friday, February 28th. So you can put the word out, and they can get those grants by contacting Cookie here at City Hall, or they can also go on our website and get the grant application as well. That's City Council Grants. Let me see what else I have. I want to, Council, this is particularly for you. You've been invited to the Nicholas County Health Department Public Health Policy Roundtable. It's actually this Thursday, the 16th. The roundtable goes from 9 to 10:30 a.m. and they would like you to confirm your attendance if you plan on attending, and you could do so by calling the health department at 872-5329. That's the Nicholas County Health Department Roundtable. The other thing I do want to highlight again, and please encourage you to come, is the Beat the Winter Blues, this event that's being sponsored by Accelerate West Virginia and the city of Summersville. It is going to be a fantastic evening with 12 dynamic speakers that are going to highlight positive activities and things happening in our community. Council, I would really encourage you to come. And if you have any questions, you can, of course, reach out to Mary Ann. Again, that's going to be February 4th at the Summersville Arena and Conference Center. Advertised hours are 5:30 to 8 p.m. Lastly, I want to tell you that, Council, we did receive correspondence. We received a thank you from the Nicholas County Historical and Genealogical Society. Members Rock and Elaine Foster were thanking us for the contribution we made to the Historical Society that allowed them to relocate their goods to put them in safekeeping until they figure out exactly where they're going to be able to open back up. That concludes the mayor's report. Does anybody have any questions?
I think I just want to shout out to the street crew. I thought they did an amazing job over the past few days. That was a lot of snow to move around, and they did a fantastic job.
Yeah, it's amazing, and I text and phone calls. I'm constantly getting complimented on all of our city employees, not only the heroic work that the street department's done, but we've also, unfortunately, in this weather, had some mainline water breaks, and that crew's been out in weather that's just been incredible. And this stuff never happens during the workday. It's always at night or on the weekend, and so I give a shout out to, good point, Gary, to the street department, and also the utility crew that comes out and keeps us in our needed utilities.
I received a few
you do a
phone
great
calls as well, thanking them for, like, hey, you good guys are doing.
Yeah.
People ask us what can they do to help. I give them the last time, like,
Yeah.
just be patient, let us get it done. They do a
Yeah,
great job.
exactly.
I've heard several favorable comments as well.
Yeah, it's funny because, you go back to the street and people say, how does a city do such a good job? They need to teach other cities. People travel through and say, they need to teach. Of course, then again, we're talking sometimes cities that don't get snow like some of them have, and they've just been in a quagmire. So anyway, we're very thankful and appreciative. That's what makes the wheels on this bus go around in our city so successful. Council, any council comments or reports? Okay, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Got a first and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Council, thank you. Have a good evening.